Okay, welcome back. In this video we're going to look at some of the tools that are available to you in Google Slides. So let's get started. I have some text up here, and note that I've got this Smart Notebook here. This is more of a trade name than anything, so it's not unexpected that it would come up as being mismarked in a spell check. The other thing I'd like to do is I'd like to misspell something in here. So just a typo, I put in 2 T's in quote. So if I go to Tools and Spelling, you'll notice the first thing it finds is this, and let's say that perhaps this is correct and I'd like to use it. I can do two things. I can either ignore it or I can add it to my dictionary. So I'm going to click Add to my dictionary, and then note it finds my second spelling mistake, and this one I want to change. Okay, so it works like a very typical spell check. And it does allow you, now if I go down here to Personal Dictionary in the same section, you can see that there it is, Smart Notebook. There's probably some things in here that I don't need, but these are things that it will check for on an ongoing basis and not mark as being misspelled. Okay, other tools. There is an Explore option. It's also available through this icon in the lower right hand corner, and when you do that, it's just going to open up this nice window. Let me just search for slides. And it will open up this area for research. So it will default to this web tab where it's done a search for slides, create and edit presentations online, Google Slides, explore presentations. Okay. It also has images. You can see those images right now are not particularly related to the topic, but I could always adjust that with my search. And it also allows you to search your drive. So since I'm logged into Google, I'm using Google Slides, it's going to allow me to search my drive for things associated with the word slides. Okay, it's also a define feature. And that will just give you a nice definition if you use that. It'll give you a different dictionary definition. There's a question and answer history. We'll come back to this later when we look at presentation options. There's a voice type for speaker notes. Now, speaker notes are the notes on the bottom. They're not the notes in the slide itself. But let's see how that works. Now, if you notice, this is currently set to Spanish because I was playing with it a minute ago. So I really want to change it back to US English. And then to use the feature, I'm going to have to click on the microphone here. This is a test of voice to text in Google Slides. This is only a test. I'll click it again to shut it off. There is a whole little tutorial out there on how to use this. You can theoretically add punctuation, add new paragraphs, etc. But you've got to learn how to use the system, and it's not always perfect. So be forewarned about that. Just to demonstrate, you could, if you did it in Spanish, it would be looking for Spanish words. So, buenos días. Este es míos proyecto. And you can see that that was not perfect. Oop, let me stop it here. So you can see, probably due to my Spanish not being perfect, it didn't get everything, but it got part of it. It got part of it. Perhaps someone who spoke Spanish a little better would have better results. Okay, also in the Tools section, there's the option for Preferences. And in here, this says that it will automatically capitalize words when you start a line, use smart quotes, which are the curly ones as opposed to the straight ones, automatically detect links. So if something looks like a hyperlink, it will create it as a hyperlink and not leave it as text. Automatically detect lists. So if you've started a list, then you just keep hitting enter. It's going to continue that list for you. And also automatic substitution. And you can see here that just as with Word, there are a variety of different things in here where if you type some characters, it's going to swap it out for you. So you can see 7/8 will become 7/8. It will look a little different. So let's see how that works. I'll just come in here, 7/8. It looks like that. But when I leave, when I hit space or enter or anything, it converts to that other form. And if you really want to, you can add your own. So I'm going to say star star so it's star star exclamation equals wow. Probably not a very good example, but you can see that it substitutes for you. So that's just how it works. Okay, the only other option in there we've looked at previously is a personal dictionary. It brings you back to things that you've stored so that when you do a spell check, it will not mark these as misspelled. Note that even though Smart Notebook started, when I had it and added it to my dictionary, there was a capital S and a capital N, that it was not recorded in a case-sensitive way. So you still have to watch. You still have to watch for your capitalization, etc. Okay, that about concludes the tools. Some simple tools, but useful tools, I think, for using with Google Slides.